Fossil fuels will remain an important part of the fuel mix in Southeast Asia over the coming decades, contributing to almost 70% of the generation mix by 2030. Southeast Asia's fossil fuel generation fleet is still relatively young, with 94 gigawatts of new fossil fuel generation capacity, or 60% of the total capacity additions added over the past 10 years. As a result, the coal and gas generation fleet is still relatively young, with nearly 50% of current operating capacity being 10 years old or younger. These fossil fuel assets typically have lengthy power purchase agreements of 25 to 30 years and an even longer technical life of between 25 and 40 years, and will still be operating over the coming decades. As fossil fuel generation continues to feature prominently in the generation mix over the next 3 decades, while the countries target to achieve net zero or carbon neutrality by 2050 and beyond, there has been a slew of options being studied and piloted to decarbonize fossil fuel generation, both in the region and globally. Indonesia is pursuing the option of coal-firing of biomass together with coal. PLN has been aggressively seeking biomass coal-firing solutions. Vietnam also mentioned blending biomass with coal in its latest draft PDP. However, this is at an even earlier stage than where Indonesia is currently at. Many countries across the region also intend to tap on hydrogen as a fuel for power generation, with some even intending to produce it for domestic consumption and exports. In Singapore, Keppel Infrastructure has taken final investment decision on a new 600 megawatt CCGT capable of blending a blend of natural gas and hydrogen, and following which the Singapore government also announced its national hydrogen strategy, which articulated that up to 50% of power could be generated from hydrogen. In Malaysia, TNB together with IHI and Petronas has conducted co-firing of ammonia with coal successfully. Vietnam, in its latest power development plan draft, is targeting to fully switch from gas to hydrogen and coal to ammonia in the longer term. Carbon capture technology is the most mature of technology among the options. Currently, there's around 50 million metric tons per annum of capture capacity in operation globally. However, the majority of this capacity is being utilized in the gas processing and oil and gas refining industry. The addition of carbon capture and storage in the power sector is only included in Indonesia's electricity supply business plan and in Singapore's 2050 energy scenarios. The cost of power generated from coal and gas power plants with the addition of CCS is expected to gradually decline over the coming decades. This is largely due to cost declines from the technology costs, through learning by doing and economies of scale, as the global build-out increases. On top of technology cost declines, the cost of transportation and storage of the captured CO2 is anticipated to fall, as projects are scaled up from demonstration scale to regional commercial hubs, utilizing depleted oil and gas wells which are available in the region. Even with the cost declines, the addition of CCS is not suitable for all coal and gas capacities. A sizable part of the cost of adding CCS is the capex on the equipment, which impacts coal-fired power plants more than gas-fired power plants. As a result, a longer economic life is necessary to depreciate the cost over so as not to impact the levelized cost of electricity as much. Therefore, it makes more economic sense to either add CCS to a new built fossil fuel plant or retrofit CCS onto a relatively young plant. In addition to the age consideration, more efficient generation technology will be preferred as adding CCS will impact the plant efficiency. The addition of carbon capture equipment onto a fossil fuel generation plant also impacts the operating capability and efficiency. This is due to the power required for carbon capture equipment and the increase in minimum load that the plant needs to operate at. This thus limits the type of roles that generators with carbon capture equipment can play.